Good morning, Mark. Hey, that day has finally come. Our wedding is tomorrow. I can't wait.
Oh, hey Beth. Yeah, finally, huh? So, how are things at home? You folks doing okay? It's been a while since you've been back.
Yeah, my folks are all excited. Mom's cooking me up my favorite food. It'll be nice.
That sounds great.
We already submitted the marriage certificate. So, although we're officially married, it's still nice to have a real wedding. Makes it legitimate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. All the preparations are set, and all we have to do is wait, and you'll be walking down the aisle in no time.
You're making me nervous already. Well, I better get to bed. Got a long day tomorrow. Let's meet at the wedding hall tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be there.
Let's see. This is Randy, a friend of Mark's. I'm sure you heard from Mark that I made all the arrangements for the wedding. That little surprise he talked to you about? I'll set that in motion right when you say your vows. Just so you know, this little show is gonna wow everyone there. My idea, by the way. Gosh, you have a bundle of nerves. Hope it goes without a hitch. Okay, see you later. No response from you about that last message I sent you earlier. Oh well, suppose you're just busy getting ready. You know all about how this is gonna go down. I mean, Mark and went over it countless times. Okay, here I go. Let's get the show on the road! Okay, that's that! Mission accomplished! Boy, you really did a great acting job there, Beth. I was surprised. Oscar material for sure. Man, I ran in there, stopped the whole proceeding, swept you off your feet to my car waiting outside, and we took off. The performance you put on was so real, yelling and screaming at me to stop. It was totally awesome. To be honest, I actually thought it was all real for a second. But did you really have to keep up the performance in the car? I suppose you really got into character, and I understand that it's probably hard to set your mind straight again. You went so far that you ended up ripping your wedding dress. Just so you know, that was not my fault. You just overdid it with your acting. I don't want you charging me for damaging the dress or anything later on. And costs like that, I mean, I suggest you ask Mark about that. Okay, now that the plan is over, I'm gonna go into hiding until things cool down. See you later, and good luck with the rest.
Well, that prank was a piece of cake. Great planning by yours truly. Bet you were super surprised. So how'd it go? You should have seen everyone's faces. You heard about our little prank from Randy, right? It's not every day you see that kind of elaborate prank. Awesome, wasn't it? I already explained everything on my end, so it's safe to come back. Alrighty then. I better get going. Hey Beth, you there? You even seen my text? I know that prank probably really got you, but relax and come on back. All is safe now. If you don't come back in time, all the scheduling for the wedding is gonna get all screwed up. Oh, I get it. That prank was a bit too much for you. You pissed off at me or something? Is that why you're not responding to my messages? Is that it? Or is this like you're reverse playing a prank on me? Is that it? Come on, Beth. Women dream of such situations. It's like that famous movie. All women want to be in this kind of position at least once in their lives. This is a surprise that me and my friend Randy played on you. Something you'll remember for the rest of your life. Oh, come on, you should be overjoyed that it played out so smoothly. I'm serious. Please get back here ASAP. Where the hell are you? Stop being so stubborn. You know what you just did? You didn't get here, so we had no choice but to cancel the wedding. How could you do this? I'm not going to pay a cent for the cost. You know that, right? The bill's going to you. I told all the guests that you suddenly had a change of heart and took off with Randy. That the whole thing was actually real. That's true anyway, right? I mean, I can't even get a hold of Randy for God's sake. You're still with him, aren't you? You know what, Beth? I really didn't think you're that kind of woman. I had you pegged all wrong. I was completely snookered by you. How could you do this to me? The only thing left is divorce. Yeah, that's right, divorce. You're gonna pay for this too. I mean, literally.
Mark?
Finally, I was wondering when you were gonna respond. Where the hell you been? How could you run off with Randy like that? It's supposed to be a friggin' prank, for God's sake. So how does it feel to calm me like that? I was such an idiot, I thought I was the one playing the prank.
Did Dad contact you?
Huh? Dad? What are you talking about?
I'm at the hospital now.
Pardon me? At the hospital? Why?
I was kidnapped from that wedding by that guy, Randy. He took me to some place and threw me into this dark room. He unlocked the door, and I wasn't able to get out.
All you had to do was send me a message on your phone. Did you even think about that?
My phone is at the wedding hall. I can't very well carry it while I said my vows.
Excuse me, at the wedding hall?
I was finally able to get it back like 5 minutes ago. As a result, I wasn't able to see the messages that you and Randy sent to me. I never saw those messages. I had the fingerprint lock on it, so I wasn't able to get someone to check the messages either. And there seems to have been a total lack of communication between you and Randy. I'm sure you can comprehend the current situation, right?
The current situation? Well, what do you mean?
I'm saying all this time I wasn't able to get help from anybody. I was completely helpless.
You serious? But I was only trying to...
I later learned that I was locked up in a warehouse. It just so happened that a security guard was making his rounds and happened to find me passed out on the floor. I was taken to the hospital by ambulance. All I had were some scratches and bruises, but I did hit my head in that dark room. So I'll be staying overnight here just in case.
Which hospital are you staying at?
Do you really think I'm going to tell you?
Of course I want you to tell me. What are you talking about? I'm your husband, for God's sake. I'm concerned for the well-being of my wife. We also have to talk about the wedding. We have to reschedule it, right? We have to explain the whole situation to everyone. Clear any misconceptions.
Wait. You're not seriously thinking about rescheduling the wedding, are you?
Of course I am. This time we'll do it right. No more silly pranks. I do it all different. I'll think it's some kind of surprise that you really appreciate. Of course, any surprise will be totally risk-free. I give you my word. I'll think this through, I swear.
No thanks. I've had enough. I want a divorce.
Oh, you're not serious. Come on, Beth, it was just a joke. Hey, Beth, I know you're seeing this. Pick up. Why the hell did you hire a lawyer? I went to my dad's place after the conversation with you, and he told me to never come back home again. And then today, a lawyer you hired came to my place. What the heck is going on here, Beth? He's demanding that I pay damages to you, and that I have to pay for the entire wedding. Seriously? What the hell is this, Beth? We're married. I'm married like a month. You can't do this. And you went ahead and canceled our honeymoon too? What's gotten into you, Beth? You were looking forward to that trip. What's going on in that head of yours?
What's going on? I want to ask you the same thing, Mark. Well, what's going on in my head right now is that, well, put it simply, divorce.
Wait, what?
Do you even realize the sheer terror I went through with your demented prank? I get the feeling you have not an inkling of care for what you did, or what emotional distress you caused me!
Come on, Beth, it was a wedding prank. A surprise, and a pretty cool one at that. All I did was think up the most elaborate prank I could play on you. Something that you'd remember for the rest of your life. I know maybe it was a little wild, but I bet you won't forget it anytime soon. Am I right?
You call that prank a little wild? Your little wild prank ruined the entire wedding! Not to mention our marriage!
That's because you didn't come back right away.
Did you not hear the part where I said I was locked in a warehouse? Are you really that daft, Mark? Oh yeah, didn't I also say I had no way of communicating? On top of that, you canceled the wedding and said that I actually did run off with Randy. You made me out to be a total tramp. I'm also thinking of suing you for defamation.
Oh, hold it a second, wait, what?
I want a divorce now. Not tomorrow or next week. Now! I don't want anything to do with you. Just being around you is trauma for me. Am I getting through to you, Mark? Please, I don't ever want to see you again.
But I was only trying to make the wedding something unforgettable, something we could talk about for years to come. Hey, Beth, what the hell's going on? I just learned that both me and Randy, we just got fired from our jobs. Is this all you're doing?
Please, Mark, not again.
What do you mean, not again? This is serious business. This is our livelihood you're talking about. How are we supposed to pay you for damages and the cost of the wedding if we don't have jobs? You tell me, Beth. Lose my job and all payment stops. You're just making it worse for you.
I'm sure you already heard where I was locked up after Randy kidnapped me from the wedding.
Pardon me?
That warehouse is owned by your company. The company that you and Randy work at. You used the company warehouse for your treacherous little prank. Do you really think that the company would simply look the other way? Do you guys really think you guys can keep your jobs after dragging the company into this, frankly, dangerous prank?
But we were on...
Anyways, you're barking up the wrong tree. I had nothing to do with you guys getting fired. The company made the decision all on their own.
Then maybe you can talk to them, you know? Get them to forget the whole thing, that you aren't gonna press charges or anything. That we didn't mean any harm.
Are you really asking me to help you?
Yeah, it's the least you could do for your husband.
Our divorce has already gone through. So I really don't know what you're talking about.
Hold it. What did you just say?
I was just getting to that. My lawyer submitted the divorce papers with your signature on it. So it's done. We already submitted all the papers at City Hall. It's all over. Kaput.
You already submitted them.
Yeah, that's right. Sooner the better, right? About the damages I was demanding, your folks paid the entire amount today. They said you'll be paying them back for it. Same with Randy. I just checked my bank account. He deposited the entire amount I was demanding. I got all I was asking for. Why stay married, right?
But so soon? Couldn't you have waited? I mean, we loved each other all these years. How could you just drop it like that? It just seems so unexpected.
You brought this all in yourself with that stupid prank. I thought you had more common sense, Mark. And please, did we really love each other like you said?
Beth, come on, let's give this one more chance. What do you say? I'll think of a real interesting surprise for you this time. The safe kind, I swear.
Are you still talking about surprises? What's this weird obsession with surprises, Mark? It's kind of creepy, to be honest.
But the reason why you went through with the divorce is because you didn't appreciate my prank, right?
Pardon me?
So, please give me another chance.
I don't understand you, Mark. Your goofy thought process really bewilders me.
Beth, please.
Goodbye forever, Mark. That guy. He couldn't figure out what he did wrong to the very end. I keep asking myself why I even fell for this guy. And however short, marrying that idiot. Considering the way that guy thinks, I was worried he would come barging into our house, demanding to talk to me. So, my parents and I decided to move to a neighboring town, some distance away from Mark. And what do you know? Just as I had foreseen, Randy and Mark came banging on my door late one night. They apparently thought we were still living there, and made quite a scene in front of the house. I guess they figured all would be resumed once I got back together with him, and probably thought that they could get their jobs back as well. But all they did was get arrested by the police for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Luckily, we weren't there anymore. Now, both of them had criminal records, and their prospects for a decent job went straight down the drain. The decision to move out and start a new life with my family was the best decision I made. I work remote, so there's no particular job position I'm tied to. So I'm sure they will never locate me again. No more silly pranks for me.
OMG, Freya? Are you there? Hey, I'm trying to talk to you right now.
I'm sorry, what is it? What do you want to talk about, Lucy?
What took you so long to get back to me, huh? If I text you, you should respond to me in no more than a minute. That's just common courtesy. I mean, are we friends that go way back, or aren't we? It really is the least you can do.
I'm sorry, Lucy, but some of us have jobs and don't have time to stare at our phones all day. I'm more than happy to talk to you, but you have to be patient.
I don't care about what lame excuse you have. Just get back to me right away when I text you.
Are you going to tell me what it is you want?
What do you mean, what do I want?
I mean, did you message me just to tell me to respond to you quickly, or did you have something you actually wanted to tell me about?
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Is it true that you and Jackson are going to be getting married?
I take it that you received our wedding invitation then?
I did, yeah. And then I went to your mom to ask her just what kind of guy this Jackson fellow really is. But is it true that he makes almost $150,000 just working freelance?
Wait a second. You started looking into my husband before you even came to me to talk about him?
I also heard that he's really handsome. So basically, you have a really rich, sexy, freelance fiancé. Just what kind of work does he actually do to earn money like that? Do you have any pictures of him? Tell me what kind of girl he likes.
Those are all rather personal questions about him that I don't feel comfortable answering.
Oh, come on. Are you seriously going to shut me down like that?
Well, could you at least pretend like the reason you want to see a photo of him isn't because you heard he was handsome?
So you admit it, and now you're just going to try and hide him from me. That's so mean.
If you want to learn about him, I guess you'll just have to wait for the wedding and reception to learn a little more about him.
Well, what's the difference if I learn about him now or later? Just hurry up and tell me what I want to know about him.
Look, I'm not going to have this conversation like this, alright? I'm really busy planning for the wedding and don't have time for this. Please only message me if it's some kind of emergency, okay?
I can't believe you, Freya. I thought that you and I were still friends after all this time. Oh no! I can't believe this! I can't believe that I slept in!
You slept in? What do you mean?
I mean that I'm hopping on the bus right now!
Oh, I was wondering when you were going to show up. Were you really just sleeping in? Well, we're about to start the lunch, so you might still be able to make it for that.
Oh man, so I already missed so much of it, and here I was wanting to take my time and see what kind of men were going to be there.
Lucy, can you please not use my wedding for a chance to pick up men?
Oh, Freya, even though you're getting married, you're still so naive. I'm not coming to pick up men. I'm coming to find the man who instantly falls head over heels in love with me. Even if that man happens to be Jackson.
And just what does my fiancé have to do with any of those?
Well, I warned what might happen if you didn't show me a picture of Jackson, so whatever comes next is your fault.
You better not even think about trying to make a pass at Jackson. Got it?
Oh, I'm so scared. And just what do you think Jackson would think if he knew this is how you talk to people in private?
All I'm asking of you is not to cause a scene at my wedding, okay?
Whatever you say, Freya. Whatever you say. Hey, Freya! I thought of some more questions that I just had to ask you. I just really want to see what your fiancé looks like. I don't want to have to wait another week for the wedding. So just show me a picture of him now. And you should probably think about showing him a picture of me as well. It would just be awful for your fiancé to suddenly see me at his wedding and fall in love since I'm so much prettier than you. I feel like you'd save yourself a lot of trouble if you just did what I said. In fact, you might want to think about just preparing yourself to be let down on your wedding day. What if Jackson and I lock eyes and in that moment realize that we're meant for each other? I know it's not guaranteed, but it's more likely than you think. So just show me a picture of him and make sure to show him a picture of me too. I'll be waiting. Hey, you have got some serious explaining to do, Freya. Jackson is totally my type. I'm sure that him and I are destined to be together. And you guys are still in the middle of your lunch, right? But Jackson's waiting outside the hall? I guess this is my chance. Time to see if Jackson is my soulmate.
What the heck are all these messages, Lucy? I'm just reading all of them right now. And you weren't even at my wedding. So what are you talking about?
Well, it's just that I was right. It turns out that Jackson and I are soulmates. So I took your husband and ran off with him.
No, seriously, what are you even talking about?
There's no use in trying to stop us. We already did it.
Excuse me? I have no idea what any of this is about.
I mean that I found Jackson outside of the banquet room. Took him to the bathroom and him and I did it there.
That's not what I mean. I don't understand what you're saying because Jackson is right here with me.
Come on now. You're gonna have to come up with a better lie than that. How are you going to pretend like your husband didn't ditch you in the middle of your wedding?
I'm not pretending anything. The wedding went as planned and without a hitch. The ceremony is over, and I invited some of the guests over to my parents for another small gathering.
I don't get why you're trying to trick me like this when I already know none of that is true. Anyways, you might hear from me at some point in the future. But for the time being, I think you and I need some space from each other.
Lucy, I really don't think that you know what's going on right now.
It's too late. Your man is already mine.
I seriously think you're making a mistake here. Lucy! You made a huge mistake! Do you even realize what you've done? You didn't sleep with my fiancé! You didn't sleep with Jackson! There was another wedding going on in the same venue as ours, and that's the groom who you slept with! Have your parents not reached out to tell you any of this? Things are going crazy over here, so go to your parents' place and talk to them! You're not even reading my messages. Did you block me or something? Lucy, I'm serious. This is really bad.
Freya, are you there? I really need your help. Please? Why are you suing Jackson and I? Are we really going to have to pay all the cancellation fees for your wedding? Can't you just forgive us as old friends and a former fiancé? I know that you're not really this vengeful of a person, so please, just make it all stop.
Wow, Lucy, I'm surprised to be hearing from you. But just what are you wanting my help with?
What do you mean? Didn't you just send me this letter letting me know that you're going to be suing me for ruining your wedding?
I did not, actually. Did you even read where that letter was sent from?
But who else could it be from? It has to be you.
You mean you didn't even check to see who it's from? At least do that before reaching out to me.
Okay, hold on. Wait, who the heck is Lizzie?
I imagine that Lizzie is probably the former fiancé of the man you stole on my wedding day.
Wait, what do you mean?
Did you even read any of the messages that I tried to send you the night of my wedding?
I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
I sent you a message explaining how there were 2 weddings happening, mine and one other. You stole the groom from the other wedding, not mine. And I'm assuming that this Lizzie woman was the one who was going to marry whoever this guy of yours is.
Wait, hold on a second. This doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I'm assuming that even their jobs are different, right? Because I already told you that Jackson makes his money working as a freelance. What does your man do for a living?
Well, he just stays at home all day, so I assumed that meant he was a freelance. Working freelance means that you do everything from home, right?
Are you really telling me you've been with this man for 6 whole months and haven't realized you got the wrong person?
Well, I've just been out working so much these past 6 months. Jackson told me that he didn't have any money since it all went into the wedding, and that we'd both have to work for a while.
I really can't believe you let yourself be tricked into dating a complete stranger for a whole half a year.
No, you aren't right. This is all just some kind of prank or something.
Why don't you go and ask your Jackson for the truth then?
Fine, I will. I don't believe it! Their names are completely different!
I take it that you finally checked on what this mystery man's name actually is?
I thought that I'd seen his driver's license at least once, but I can't actually remember.
I don't believe you. How you could go through all the trouble of trying to steal someone's fiancé and then not even make sure you had the right guy? And here I thought you 2 were soulmates.
But I really did think I had the right person.
Well, anyways, since you stole this other woman's man, I think she's well within her right to punish the 2 of you. Just don't come crying to me about it. It's not my problem.
You can't actually mean that, right?
I think that maybe you should just actually read through that letter you got and make sure you have all the details before you make another move.
Well, I tried reaching out to my parents before you, but I think they might have changed their numbers and I can't get a hold of them.
Your parents sold their house and moved a while back.
Wait, what?
And your dad quit his job too.
But why? Why would they do that without telling me?
Well, they felt so guilty for what you did that when this other woman managed to track them down, they agreed to pay for the private investigator who she hired to track you 2 down. But it took so long to find you both that they burned through all their savings and finally had to sell their house.
So then, where are they? What's happened to their home?
I don't know. I just know that they sold their house and moved. But I don't know their new address or even what their numbers are now.
Well, then you're the only one who could help me now.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's all your fault if you think about it. You never told me there were 2 weddings that day, so you kind of owe me, don't you think?
You know, I didn't even want to invite you to my wedding in the first place.
What are you talking about, Freya?
I mean that ever since we were in school together, you're always trying to steal boyfriends from other girls. In fact, the only reason I invited you was because our parents used to be close business partners, and I didn't want to risk hurting those ties. But then you had the nerve to try and use that chance to steal my fiancé from me.
Freya, please! You know this has all just been a big misunderstanding. You have to forgive me. I really had no idea what I was getting myself into at all. Please, you have to listen to me.
So, if you want to talk about responsibility, why don't you go look in a mirror first? But don't you come begging to me for help, because at the end of the day, Jackson, the real Jackson, that is, and I, have nothing to do with any of this. If you want help, you're barking up the wrong tree. You got yourself into this mess, and now you're going to have to get yourself out of it.
Freya, please don't be like this. I'm so sorry.
I don't care. Don't come to me for help with problems that you got yourself into. And don't even cause trouble for my family again, or I will call the police.
So you're really not going to help me at all?
Goodbye, Lucy. It turns out that Lucy and this other guy had actually gone to courthouse to get married. And yet, somehow, she still hadn't learned his name. But after being served with a lawsuit, the two of them decided to divorce. As part of the settlement, Lucy was offered a job at a factory belonging to the woman whose fiancé she stole's parents. She had no choice but to take it in order to help her pay down her legal fees. Not only that, but I heard part of the deal was that Lucy would have to live in the company's dorms with an ankle bracelet and have her every move carefully watched by her bosses. I only hope that this serves as a good lesson for Lucy, if she ever manages to free herself from all that debt. As for Jackson and I, we really weren't all that affected by any of Lucy's antic, since she had the wrong guy from the very beginning. I remember that Jackson had told me he thought I was worried too much when I said that I didn't want to invite Lucy, but he quickly realized how narrowly he had dodged a bullet. Throughout all of this, however, the ones I feel most sorry for are Lucy's parents. They were never able to tame Lucy's wild spirit when she was a student, and it's clear she took the same attitude she had then into adulthood. Although, when I told Lucy that I didn't know where her parents had moved to, or how to contact them, that was a lie. They had asked me to keep that a secret from Lucy, in case she ever showed up again. Instead, even though they lost their business, my parents found work for them at a branch company near their new house. It was the least they felt they could do for such old business partners.